this is Miss Delore, and the reason I'm making this video is to help the 6th graders with their weekly language, and this is for week 28. As you know, we have a chart that has 4 days with 4 boxes for each day. So when I refer to day 1, box 1, that's what I'm talking about. Day 1, box 1. Declarative, interrogative, imperative, exclamatory. How did it get so late so soon? Now, remember, start with your interrogative. Is this a question? Look at your end signs to help you. Think of it as a police officer interrogates a prisoner. They are asking them questions. Then we look at exclamatory. Is there an exclamation point? Is this a sentence that is of a great excitement? Now we have our declarative and our imperative. An imperative is a command like open the door, shut your book. And if it is none of these, if we go in this order, it makes it much simpler to find out. If it's none of these, your regular everyday sentence is declarative. If you follow those steps, it will be much easier to answer the question, how did it get so late so soon? Day 1, box 2. Make the following singular nouns plural. Cloud. If you're unsure of what the plural of cloud is, then use a dictionary or use an online tool. Many times it will tell you. If you're still not sure, look at the end letter D and think of what we add when it ends with a consonant like that. Day 1, box 3. Write the possessive form. 36 octopus. Now, this is a plural word because of the 36 in front of octopus. So you're going to have to first change octopus to its plural form and then decide whether to add apostrophe S or S apostrophe. Day 1, box 4. Circle the better word choice, light or pale. Think of the ways that they are used and which one would be more descriptive. Day 2, box 1. Circle the complete predicate. Are we almost finished? Now, this is a question which several of you had difficulties with. Think about your subject first, which is day 3, box 1. What is the main subject of this question? It will be a noun or a pronoun. You will circle that main subject, and then the rest will be our predicate. Day 2, box 2. Add punctuation to make this sentence correct. Did you read all the students' reports? Now, if you notice, there is a 2. That means that there are 2 punctuation marks that are not included in this sentence. Always look at your end first. And remember, because some of you do have this bad habit, it's not automatically a period. There are periods, of course, but there are also exclamation points. There are also the question marks. So be careful of that. And then think about possessives to help you with the other punctuation mark. Day 2, box 3. What is the meaning of the underlined word? Do you possess that car or do you just rent it? Use the context clues of what is happening with the car to help you figure out what the word possess means. If you are still having difficulty, use a dictionary or an online tool in order to help you figure out what the word possess means. Now, if you use a dictionary, be aware that sometimes there is more than one definition to a word. Don't just be caught up and use the very first one you see, because sometimes that is not always correct in the way that the sentence is read. Day 2, box 4. Circle the misspelled word and spell it correctly. Some people have no sense of rhythm. Find the words that you know first. Cross those out. Oh, okay. I know this word is spelled correctly. Cross it out. Use the process of elimination. See what you have left, and then use a dictionary or an online tool to help you spell the word. Day 3. Box 1 we have already completed with as circle the complete subject. Day 3, box 2, complete the analogy. Remember, the first two pair of words are connected. Then you have to use that same connection for the last word. Birds is to nest. So how are those two words connected? As cows is to, what would a cow have the same connection as a bird does to a nest? Day 3, box 3. Circle the nouns in the sentence below. One of my favorite movies is on television tonight. Always start with your person, because nouns are person, place, thing, or idea. Always start with person, then go to place. Are there any places? Then go to things. Are there any things? And then, of course, you finish with ideas. And remember, this is the one you have difficulty with. Ideas are concepts such as love, hatred, freedom. Day 3, box 4. They would have been on time if they didn't dilly-dally. Okay, this is the number one type of question that you guys tend to miss. You have to discover what type of figurative speech are they using. Alliteration. That's when you have the same beginning sounds for the words, such as Sally sells seashells. Onomatopoeia, those are your sound words. Remember, it sounds weird. Onomatopoeia sounds weird. Those are sound words, such as bark, clap. Similes, when you're comparing two unlike things using like, as, or than. Metaphor, very similar to simile, is when you're comparing two unlike things without using like, as, or than. For example, a simile would be, I am as hungry as a bear, while a metaphor would be, I am a bear at lunchtime. Irony. That's when you expect one thing, but you tend to get the opposite. For example, a police officer gets pulled over for speeding. Personification. When you give something not human, human-like qualities, such as the stars winked at me. Hyperbole. Exaggeration. Okay, I could eat 1,000,000 pizzas tonight. That's how hungry I am. Day 4, box 1. Circle the adjectives. Remember, an adjective describes nouns. Okay? This flower is more beautiful than that. There are two. Always pay attention to the numbers. Circle the adverbs. Remember, adverbs can describe verbs. That's the one that you have a really easy time with. They can describe other adverbs. Again, you have a pretty easy time with those ones. And they can describe other adjectives. That's the one where you guys tend to have your biggest difficulty. Is my singing too loud? Asked Philip. Find your verbs first and see if there are any words describing those verbs. And then you move on to adverbs. Are there any words describing those other adverbs? Okay, and then you finish up with adjectives. Always remember, adverbs ask how or when. How did he run? Slowly, quickly. When did he run? Soon, now. Day 4, box 3. She wanted a good nose around the house. The word underlined is nose, and it will be either a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb. Don't automatically pick the easiest one just because, oh, I think I know what this is. Look at how it's used in the sentence, because there are several words, which we talked about, which can be more than one thing, like the word fly. Fly can be a noun. It's a little insect that buzzes around. Fly can be a verb. You're like a bird flying in the air. It can fly. It can be an adjective. Hey, that guy's pretty fly. Okay? But it all depends on how it's used in a sentence. So don't just automatically pick the first one because you think, oh, I know what that is. Then day 4, box 4. Circle the correct homophone. I couldn't understand there, reasoning. Remember, start off with the T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E. Can you separate it out into they are? If you can, there you go. If you cannot, go to the T-H-E-I-R. That's possessive. That's owning something. Like that is their dog. Okay? Then, if it's neither of those, check to see if the there, T-H-E-R-E, is the correct way to use it. If you go in that order, it makes it much easier to understand. All right, I'm going to end this language review, and I will try to do another one next week. Thank you for your time.